Hello and welcome to Martin Lucas Investor. My name is Sensei and we are here for the morning forecast. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And this is the show where we look to see if it's a thundery day in the markets, whether it is a calm day out there or it's a day we're going to be making money. But we are also going to be focusing on the delay. The SEC loves to delay. We were hoping for an approval of the ETF yesterday. We were hoping for the end of the case on Friday. On Monday, and neither of them have come to fruition. It is annoying. It is frustrating. It seems like they're plotting against the XRP community. We've experienced this for years and years and years. Always something against the XRP community, always something outstanding, whether it's Bill Hinman, the SEC case, the Bitcoin maxis, all sorts. The 2021 bull cycle where XRP couldn't take off because of the case, all sorts. I mean, we can go on and on and on. It's just not coming into my head. But at the time, there has been many things against the XRP's community, XRP army against the XRP token, and it's continuing again. SEC extends review of Franklin Templeton spot XRP ETF. Public comment period now open. So here we go. The SEC building. What have they done again? Another delay. What did Judge Torres do? She didn't end the case. It's ongoing. It's frustrating, but we're going to get through it. I promise you that we will get through it, and I think we will come out on top. I think XRP's price will be a lot higher in the future than it is today. Again, nothing I say is financial advice. Um, this is not financial advice. This is my thoughts and opinions only. Um, what someone's just said, terrible stream title. It's just a delay. Yeah, well, is my title wrong? My thumbnail was delay. That's not a lie. My title says XRP timeline destroyed by more SEC delays. Has the XRP timeline been destroyed? Yeah, because we were expecting a. The timeline's been destroyed for 7 years plus. XRP's price in 2017 was higher than it is today. Do you not think XRP's price should be higher than it was in 2017? Do you not think there's more going on today than there was in 2017? Do you not think the timeline for XRP is off and it's continuing to be off? That's my thoughts. I can decide what. And is the SEC playing games again? That's what we're going to be looking into. I don't know what someone's commented. The Johnny, maybe you're new into it. There's nothing. I mean, I understand you might say that it's a bit extreme, the title, but I don't think so. If you've been, and maybe you've been in XRP for 5, 6, 7 years, you will know the frustrations. 8 years ago, the price of XRP was higher than it is today. The timeline for XRP has been destroyed, and it's continuing to be destroyed. We're used to it. Yes, Johnny, we are used to it. Of course, we're used to it. But you're taking offense at my title. My title is the truth. Anyway, let's get back into the story. We've got another delay. So we had those delays. We're used to delays. Delays always come, they go. And as I just said, I think we'll come out on top. Nothing I say is financial advice. It's my thoughts and opinions only. Please do not follow my trades. I am dubiously speculating on the market. And right now, as I've said previously, I think XRP's price will be a lot higher than it is today. I think XRP's price is undervalued. We also do need to look back at XRP's price. If I bring XRP's chart on the screen as well, we do need to remember we are much higher than where we were a year ago. A year ago, we were struggling to hold 50 cents. We were dropping below 40 cents, and today we are at $2.14. So we have been rewarded for holding XRP over the last few years, but still, you scroll back to 2017 and you see where we were back then 8 years ago, and I think XRP has developed a lot since then. I think there has been a lot of bullish sentiment since, and I think XRP is extremely undervalued. And I think we should be seeing a $10 XRP this cycle. I think XRP could easily go to $50 to $100 next cycle as well. So um, It's a shame to see these delays. What are these delays all about? Let me explain it to you. So the SEC has delayed its decision on Franklin Templeton's proposed spot XRP ETF, formally opening the application to public comment as of June the 17th, 2025. The next regulatory deadline for the ETF now falls in late July, following a 35-day extension from the SEC's notice. So we are, again, this one's now been extended. I think it's to the 22nd of July. I've got it down here in the table. Yeah, so the 22nd of July is the next time we look forward to the SEC's decision on this specific ETF. Let me explain this to you a bit further. So, under the standard SEC procedures, the agency can continue to extend its review, but must issue a final decision no later than November the 19th, 2025. So they can extend it, I think, 4 times, and the final decision, and that final decision is the important one, because they are forced to give a decision whether they approve it or deny it. For this specific Franklin Templeton one, that will be on November the 19th. That's 245 days since the original filing date of the March the 19th, 2025. And a similar extension and comment period has been applied to Franklin Templeton's Solana ETF, with both funds seeking listing on the Kobe BZX exchange. So you might have seen that the Solana ETF was thrown in the same boat yesterday with the extension. So I've always said, and look, they can only delay it to a certain extent. They've accepted the application, which is the first good news, and they have 245 days, and that puts it in the second half of this year, November 2025. There will be some which I think will be sooner than that in the 245 days, but they have to make a decision. And that's why, following what Brad Garlinghouse has said, the second half of this year, I'm expecting an XRP ETF in the US, and we're talking spot ETF. And this specific ETF has now been extended for 35 days until July the 22nd, and the final decision will have to be made by November the 19th, 2025, if they don't make a decision in the meantime. They've also extended the comments period. So let's move on to this, because this is an update. The SEC moved to open a formal public comment period in its routine step in its ETF review process. Previously used for Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF applications, this stage will allow market participants, industry experts, and the public to submit feedback or concerns before the SEC makes the final determination. Prior to June the 17th, the Franklin Templeton XRP ETF application was under standard review, but the official comment window has not yet been opened for this proposal. So the update is they're opening a comment period. That, I guess, is good news. They did that for the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF, so now we're getting the public comments. It looks like we are moving forward, even though they did delay it. We are moving forward in one in a sense. In one sense, we have moved forward. So this latest extension comes after a mid to heightened anticipation for an altcoin ETF summer. Polymarket traders currently assign an 88% probability to the XRP ETF approval in 2025. Standard Chartered estimates up to 8.3 billion in first-year flows if approved, based on comparative data from other spot crypto ETFs. The delay also coincides with Ripple and the SEC jointly requesting suspension of agency appeals in their ongoing lawsuit, following a preliminary settlement in April. Meanwhile, Canada has, and this is important today, get ready for it. Meanwhile, Canada has already approved its first spot XRP ETF. Canada has, Brazil has, we're waiting for US, has already approved its first spot XRP ETF, underscoring the US regulatory lag. For investors, the SEC continued caution highlights ongoing regulatory uncertainty in the US crypto markets. The next 35 to 44 days will be critical as the SEC reviews public comments and approaches its next decision window in late July. The ProShares XRP ETF, a separate application, faces its own SEC deadline, June the 25th. Next week, we have another one to look forward to. Getting delayed, probably. We'll see. So filing dates, this is for this specific Franklin Templeton one, was March the 19th. The comment period is opening, I think, yesterday. And then their next SEC decision, the 35 days, will now be on July the 22nd. But the final deadline where they have to say yes or no is November the 19th, 2025. So that's about XRP as well. I mean, we've got the Genius Act being passed through yesterday, which is great for RLUSD and the stable coins and the crypto industry. That's why you've seen Circle go up again today. Recently IPO'd on the stock market. So let me just talk to you about the XRP ETF. I think it's coming. I don't think it's coming next week. I genuinely think, even though it can come at any point, I genuinely think the SEC case has to come to an end first. And I think that SEC case, in my opinion, will come to an end this month. I don't see it taking any longer, really. I don't see it needing to take any longer. I think this month we'll see Judge Torres make the decision. We saw yesterday that Ripple also um, echoed the SEC's words on their settlement proposal. I think Judge Torres will come out this month in the next couple of weeks and say that's I approve it. The case can end. That will give it the clarity, and then the SEC can go away and approve these XRP ETFs. I think that will happen first, and I think that will happen soon. Um, so August 15th is a new SEC case date. No, Johnny, that's not the new SEC case date. No. So a lot of people are getting confused with that story as well. Um, There is a new date that has been proposed, August 15th. What's that about? Is that the date that they have to make their decision by? No, that is the date that if Judge Torres hasn't made a decision by then, they have to do the same thing again. And what do I mean by that? The SEC has to give an update to the court about their settlement proceedings with Ripple. It is just a procedural thing. It's not a deadline for anything specific. It's in Judge Torres's hands. August 15th deadline that everyone's throwing around. The meaning of that is nothing significant. It is just the exact same as what happened on Monday, where they just have to put in another. The SEC has to give an update on their settlement proceedings with Ripple to keep it away from the appeals court. So the August 15th deadline, forget about it. It's nothing important. Um, what we're waiting for right now is Judge Torres to come to an to look at that and say, okay, I'm gonna approve it. It's the end of the court case. That's it, done and dusted. August 15th is just a procedural thing that if a Judge Torres hasn't made a decision, the SEC comes out and says this is what our settlement is looking like. We still want to settle. So I think that has to come to an end before we get the ETF applications. I think a lot of ETFs are going to be approved this summer in the next late 2025. I think we'll have a Solana ETF, an XRP ETF, a Litecoin ETF, maybe a few other ETFs as well. In the meantime, as well, I think XRP could be the next one. Probably should be the next one. It's the next largest cryptocurrency. But I think we'll get these ETF approvals in the summer. And look, it's not the worst thing ever. As I've said, I would much rather the ETF rulings come out when the crypto market is much in a better way. If we've got Bitcoin at all-time highs, XRP nearing all-time highs, and then we get the ETF news, and then we get another ETF approved, and then we get Solana ETF, that's when altcoin season can really ramp up. If you get an XRP approval, an XRP ETF approval, for example, today, when the markets are down, when there's a war breaking out, well, we'll have a small pop in price, and then it'll probably come back down. You want everything to be in the right situation with people FOMOing, the sentiment on the right side, all-time highs, new people finding out about crypto, and then they're hearing all this good news, ETF news, and they won't understand what it all means, but they'll be getting exciting, and the FOMO will build, and then you get that 3-week period where everything goes to the moon. That's when the best time for news like an ETF to come out is when you're already at all-time highs, when there's already FOMO going on, and when the whole market is in a good place. The S&P 500 is at all-time highs, Bitcoin's at all-time highs, and then you get that ETF approval. That's the base case scenario. Otherwise, let me remind you again, the SEC deemed the court deemed that XRP is not a security. It was the best news you could ever hope for in the history of XRP. The price popped 100% in a day. A few weeks later, we were at a lower price than we were before that news. That seems ridiculous, but that's what happens when you're in a bear market and when there's a bad sentiment in the market. The best news won't have a massive effect. Okay, so that's the update on that. We've also got at least some good news here as well. Make sure you've hit the like button if you're here with us. Please do hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Okay, could the decision become just fluffy Eddie P? Oh, it's Eddie. Yeah, the decision should come before the deadline. The deadline has nothing to do with the decision. Um, okay. The Senate passed Genius Act setting US stablecoin rules. So yesterday, the US Senate passed the Genius Act on June the 17th by a bipartisan 68 to 30 vote, establishing the first federal regulatory framework for stablecoins. The bill introduces dual compliance paths, one for federally approved issuers including non-banks and uninsured national banks, and another for state qualified issuers that meet federal criteria. Key provisions require a 1-to-1 reserve backing with high quality assets, rigorous anti money laundering compliance, bankruptcy protections, favouring stablecoin holders, and penalties up to 500,000 for misrepresenting stablecoins as legal tender. The bill clarifies that payment stablecoins are not securities or commodities, addressing a long-standing regulatory gap that impeded industry growth. The legislation now advances to the House of Representatives before potentially reaching President Trump's desk. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse called the Genius Act a truly historic moment, having previously noted that the crypto industry has long awaited legislative clarity. He emphasized the bill as a major first step in creating enforceable rules and thanked key senators for their leadership, with key stablecoins accounting for 1% of the US dollar supply and posting 27.6 trillion in 2024 transfer volume. The bill could usher in institutional adoption and mainstream usage, though issuers will face increased compliance costs and regulatory oversight. Here is Brad's tweet on that. For years, crypto companies have been calling on Congress to pass crypto legislation and set rules of the road. This is the first major financial bill since Dodd-Frank, the first crypto bill to pass in the Senate, which now moves to the House, a truly historic moment. It is a historic moment, and you can see RLUSD will benefit, USDC will benefit, and that is directly linked to Circle Internet Group, which is now up about 3% pre-market. I think it's overvalued. I think even at it's at $32 billion market cap. We were expecting this to. This was valued at about 6 billion a month ago, and now it's valued at 32 billion. So I'll be careful getting into this. Again, it's not financial advice, but Circle would definitely benefit from this Genius Act. But we did expect this to go through, and it's up slightly pre-market. This will be great for players like RLUSD. Probably not so good for someone like USDT. Is the FOMC report. That is going to be massive for every single asset you hold. The FOMC report will definitely be important for everything. Make sure you have hit the like button if you're still here with us. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let me come on to my next story right after I look at some of your comments. Let me replace the pin as well with this. I'm going to put in the newsletter link instead. Thank you for bearing with me this morning. Let me just put this there and replace the pin. Okay, there we go. Brian was here, Robbie C was here. Be back checking the newsletter. More red I see. Yep. Hope that stays that way until I get paid on Friday night. I'm already all in. Just a waiting game now. Oh, not to be noisy, I'm sitting at 5,500 at the moment, trying to hit 10k before the takeoff. I've got I've got a little more, but not enough. Okay, Sensei, thanks for updates. I'll snag another 500 this weekend if the price is. Paul D wants to accumulate more XRP. I love it. Please hit this. Please smash the like button, says James. Yes, please do. Um, who feels safe investing in the stock market at the moment with the ongoing wars, US Trump trading and investing? If you're in long term, you will be fine. Um, James, I don't think any of us truly are trying to use master strategy by the dip. Yeah, it's awful. I mean, right now, as you guys know, it's a bad situation for everyone. If only we can get peace and we can get back to our normal lives. But I don't think anyone wants this happening, and it is a harsh market to be investing in. Just bought some more Ondo, says XRP John T. We'll look at Ondo. Um, do more boys and girls. One minute. You guys all US? No, I'm here from the UK. Sky Trader is good morning from Canada. We're a worldwide audience. Eyes on XRP, waiting for that buy. Good morning, all you screen watchers, says Jesse. Good morning to you. I'm not sure why, but I've got a bad feeling we could see a big drop in the market soon. It's just the feeling, but due to this, I'm being very careful in the markets at the moment. Good luck to you, James. Hopefully we don't, but you should need to always be cautious. MDL is from the UK as well. Indiana, but half an hour from Chicago. We are better off getting the approval when the market's on the way up and sentiment is better. In that case, it won't hinder the pump. Stevie Zebek knows what he's talking about. That is correct. Who is on the but also the reverse of it is we enter a bear market in the next few months and then we get the news come out. That could be worse than today. Who is on MBG hype? I haven't heard of it. At work, so can't listen in. It was delayed. Yes, it was, Marcus. Yeston says, hello, James. Hello to you, James. Time to buy in. We are all used to delays. I'm not new, bro. No worries, Johnny. 8589. SEC, what have you got cooking over there, lol? Um, we are down for the 1 millionth time, going slowly down to $1. We could definitely go to $1. I don't expect it at the moment, but we definitely be prepared for that. That $2, $1.80, $1.70 level is the last sort of line of support. Delay equals more stacking time. Exactly right. We'll get delayed till August when Trump wants the crypto bill on his desk. After that, it will be go time. November is the ICO. Everything's coming up to that sort of end of the year time. Let's see what happens. Do you own XRP, S&P, or any other specifics? Yes, I do. August 15th for the new. No, we clarified that. Could the decision come before the deadline? Yes, it can. Does it look like coincidence that all these dates are being pushed to around the same time in Q4 25 when ICO goes into effect? It's interesting, isn't it? I don't think there's anything big at play there, but it could be a nice coincidence that it all comes out at once in that situation. Zebek could also get ISO compliance by November. All these dates line up. XRP will be XRP will prosper. Just hope sooner than later. Why sooner than later? Do you not want more time to accumulate? What's the chance? I know we always want it tomorrow, but the longer something takes, the better the outcome is. What's the chance in your What's the chance, in your opinion, of us being able to pick up some more XRP at $2 or less before everything passes? I think there's a high chance. Yeah, I think there's a high chance. Um, hope your family is well and safe, Sensei. Stevie, I at this point it's hard to know, but hopefully, thank you for your thoughts. What did I miss? Don't tell me they get delayed again. Yes, they got delayed again. Good morning. I'm kind of happy it's delayed because I bought my XRP much cheaper price. Pepic. That's the attitude. I need a little profit, haha, says Robbie C. Okay, thank you, everyone. We're going to be moving over to Martyn's show in about 10 minutes' time. Let me see if I've got any updates there. We'll be moving over to Martyn's show in 10 minutes' time. Let's quickly get on to some of the other stories. So, FOMC meeting report day today. This is a big event that will affect everything. We are expecting, Martyn's expecting a raise. I'm expecting to hold. Let me see what the markets are expecting. If I go onto the Fed Watch tool as well, we'll be able to get an idea of what the markets are expecting. I think they agree with me. If Martyn's right, that will be one hell of a prediction. Let's have a look. No change, 99% chance, it's saying on the CME group. Fed Watch Tool, even next month. I know Martyn said if it's not this month, it'll definitely be next month. But even in July, the 30th, they're saying no rate cut as well. By September, I think we start pricing one in. Yeah, by September, we start pricing one rate cut in. In October, um, it's not priced in at another rate cut. December, yeah, we're expecting the markets or CME Group, Fed Watch Tool is expecting two rate cuts this year. One in September and one in December. Nothing for this month or next month. So be prepared. Be prepared for no rate cut. If there is a rate cut, that will be a massive surprise to the market. That would be a massive surprise to the market, and I'm not sure if it's going to be in a good way or a bad way. Um, I guess initially it will be in a good way, unless we get bad data, and then it will be in a bad way. So if we do get a cut, I guess I'll expect the markets to really pump, but then also they might go back on themselves once they realise what the issues are with cutting rates early. We'll see. I've just seen some opinions coming now. What does everyone think about the rate cut today? Should I do? We'll put on the music. We'll get all the likes on, and everyone say, um, "Do we have to tell Martyn? Do we have to tell Martyn if he is right?" What do you mean? Just do we have to tell Martyn if he's right? I don't know what you mean by that. Um, Martyn will know if he's right or not. Okay, so I want everyone to put in the comment section a yes or no. A rate cut, do you expect it? Yes. Rate cut, do you expect it? No. If you don't expect a rate cut, put no. If you expect a rate cut, put yes. I want the chat to be rolling. Keep saying your answer yes or no. In the meantime, make sure you hit the like button, and you also come into the comment section and you start hitting that like button. Let's put on our morning theme tune while you say yes if you expect a rate cut, or no if you don't expect a rate cut. I want that to be spammed in the chat.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept it in, but it's time now you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn, a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn, a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from.
Do you expect a rate cut? Keep spamming it. Yes if you think it's coming. No if you think it's not. Are you on Martyn's side? Martyn's saying they're going to cut. That's his prediction. My prediction is no, they're not. Are you with Sensei or Martyn? Put Martyn or Sensei in the chat. Martyn or Sensei instead of yes or no. If you're with me and you say there's not going to be a rate cut, put Sensei in the chat. If you're with Martyn, put Martyn in the chat if you think there will be a rate cut. Sensei or Martyn?
See the truth behind the veil, and you know that they're just looking for attention. Oh, you don't let the ruthlessness prevail. Oh, it's time now, light your fires for ascension. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn, a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Make sure you've hit that like button. The music is coming to an end.
Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn a thirst and desire. You transform it up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn a thirst and desire. You transform it up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Thank you everyone for participating in that. Seems to be a big mix. A lot of people on Martyn's side, and a few people on my side. I think the mix was more that we are going to have a cut, and I'm afraid to tell you all that you're going to be wrong. I think. Anyway, we'll see. I am fairly confident we will not get a cut. We will see when it happens. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Pause, Sensei, sorry, Martyn. Martyn says William Myers. Rob Guard says Sensei. Craig is making it clear, Sensei. Just Fluffy says Martyn. Andreas Johnson says Martyn is usually right, so I'd say Martyn. Keith says Sensei. What, Martyn? When have I been wrong about it, Andreas? When have I been wrong about a rate cut? No for that song. Pause. Yes, cut rate, says Zach Zate. James is with me saying pause. Chris is saying no rate cuts. Shane says yes, 28 trades, 28 wins. Well, this is not really a trade of his, but maybe it will be an end of the winning streak for Martyn today. We will see. Other stock markets closed. The stock market in the US is closed tomorrow, so there'll be no. Thank you for reminding me. There'll be no morning forecast show. There will be no newsletter in the morning as well. Most likely because it's not a trading day, as you know. On bank holidays, we don't go live. We sort of go with the US markets. Yes, they are. Martyn 25 cat. No, I don't think so. Sensei, are we going up or down today? Michael Murphy, what a terrible question. Are we going up or... if I knew, I'd be a billionaire. I promise you I'd be a billionaire. If I knew if the markets are going to be lower now than if they're going to be a big drop or a big gain today, I would be a millionaire / billionaire today, because the amount of things you can do by knowing this sort of thing. Oh, the stock market's closed tomorrow. I'm finally getting the newsletter. It has so much good information I've been missing. You really do a great job, Sensei. Thank you for all the hard work. It's appreciated. You're like a crypto Yoda. Jesse, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy it. There's a lot of perks and benefits. If you click the link up here, it'll take you straight there as well, and you can get your 7-day free trial. You might as well give it a good go before you go into it. 25-point rate card. Netrium said so. Who's Netrium? Someone is going to be this time. If you're right, I'll give you credit for it. Thank you, Andreas. 0.5 cut. Yeah, Ben. Good luck with that prediction. That wasn't even one of the options. That was an extreme one. Okay, so we've got the link from Martyn coming through now, where we'll be going in just a couple minutes time. So we are getting ready for Martyn's stream in a few minutes time. So let me end the poll. And give you my final thoughts. What does the poll say, first of all? Have you signed up to newsletter yet? Be honest. Not yet, but drop the link. Okay, here is the link for the newsletter. 57% of you have not signed up for the newsletter. It's free. There's a 7-day free trial. There's a free trial. There's a monthly plan. There's an annual plan. How have you not signed up for the newsletter yet? Please go and click that link and sign up. Yes, it's free and I love it. 28%. Yes, I'm a paid member, and it's worth it. 6% of you are paid members here as well, and 7% have signed up but not enjoying it. Well, that's the smallest percentage, so I don't mind. We've got Martyn on the line, so I'm going to bring Martyn straight on to the show right now. Welcome to the morning forecast, Martyn. I'm loving the attire.
Suited and booted, ready to go. Buying like Buffett, buying with conviction. I bought more shares throughout the night, another 5 shares actually, because remember, whenever you buy more using margin, it actually increases your margin if you buy certain assets. So I was able to free up some more money and buy some more. So I bought 5 shares of the S&P throughout the night, and I'm up on all of them. I laddered in at different prices, but essentially I bought them down throughout the night, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, with the uncertainty in the Middle East. I have been on the phones. I've been up most of the night talking to people, and I am bullish today. I know there's 100% chance of no rate cuts, but I am saying a 0.25 rate cut this morning. Very often people know, but they say the opposite because everyone plays their own little games. I am here for you. I just tell you how it is. So I put the suit on, suited and booted, ready to go. Got a lovely cologne this morning. If only you could smell me, I'd smell great this morning. I'm ready for money this morning. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. Of course, I don't. But my predictions is a rate cut of 0.25. If it doesn't come today, it'll certainly come next month. Either way, I'm happy to buy. So I've done so. We've seen the news overnight. We know what's going on in the Middle East. However, I am focusing on good old school, good principles of balance sheets and numbers, earnings reports, listening to what the CEOs are telling me, the hedge fund managers are telling me. Jerome Powell will more likely, probably, definitely be bullish today, be dovish today. So even if we don't get a rate cut, it'll act like we do. So either way, I think we're going to be up. If you look at where we are today, the S&P is up, crypto is all down. Once again, we've seen all the fear of that, but the S&P is up today. I'm up $591.32. I've got just over $440,000 now invested, so I couldn't be more bullish than that. All my cash, all my bank, all my margin, and refinance. So you can't be more bullish than that. So I do think that we're going to go up today, even if we don't get a rate cut. It'll behave like we did. In fact, it could go up more than if we get a rate cut, because if we get a rate cut, there's always some element of overreaction. Was he bullied by Trump? Well, no, he's not. He's not going to do that. But a 0.25 is what I think. If not, it'll behave like one, because actually the market can move up more, even with a pause, but with a strong bullish outlook sentiment. Now, let me be absolutely clear. 0.25 will make no difference between now and next month anyway. It's the signal it sends to the markets. I think he can do more with his messages and his words, more importantly, at the conference afterwards. So I'll be live in a few moments' time when Sensei finishes here. I'll be preparing for the FOMC. I'll be going for all the data, all the information. I will then be going over to the main event itself. So that will follow my morning show. Join me for all of that. I'm optimistic. I'm bullish, but then I always am, right? 28 trades, 28 wins. I got no reason not to be. All right, Sensei, thank you for letting me on the show. Congratulations. And I think I've just about covered everything. Just wanted to correct you. You did say a rise. Martyn predicts a rise. I predicted a 0.25 cut. Just want to correct that in case. Oops. You did say a rise, yeah. So I just want to be clear. There's no chance at all of a rate hike. Anyway, love you all. Sensei, you're doing a great job. Love to you, mate. Love to you and your family. I will see you all back in a short while, and just give me a couple of minutes to jig around my seat and, I don't know, something I've got to do between you and me. That's it, mate. See you back in a bit. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Martyn. Sorry for everyone. Let me make it clear. Martyn is predicting a rate cut of 0.25 basis point or 25 basis points. I'm predicting a holding steady at where we are. So let me make sure I clarify that. You can see Martyn is ready for the FOMC meeting. He's ready to give you all the insights. His show is starting in only a couple minutes time. So let me wrap up this show. Let's get ready for the day ahead. Let's get over to Martyn's show and he can share all the data. He's been up all night researching this for you. He's got some insights that you cannot afford to miss. So stay with us. Let me give you my final thoughts. I've just seen the results of, we're going through the results of the poll. 57% of you haven't got the newsletter yet. So please do get the newsletter. There is the link. 28% of you have it and you love it. 6% of you are paid members as well, and you love it as well. Only 7% of you are not enjoying the newsletter. There's always going to be trolls in the chat. We know who they are, but that is a very low percentage, and you take the risk when you do polls like that, and I'm happy with the results. So let me quickly explain to you what the newsletter is, and then we'll go straight over to it. David Hensley has said you guys have to at least get the free newsletter. There's not another more professional, more informed newsletter out there. I know, I've had them. Yes, I mean, there is a free version. The annual plan is about 30 cents a day for all the best information. And I'll tell you exactly what's in that newsletter. For example, today you get this every single morning. You get the one big thing, FOMC, the money move, what to do to be prepared for the FOMC, a quick snapshot of what's going on in the markets, the link to the morning forecast. You've got the 5 big stories, the Senate Genesis Act, you've got the SEC case, you've got the 5 main stories, the FOMC, all the 5 top main stories. We don't go through them every morning. If we did, we wouldn't have time. We've got all the updates from Vaz this week from the Paris Air Show. We didn't even get time to go through this. All the updates from Vaz this week. Go check them out in the newsletter. You then get the deeper dive. Today's deeper dive is everything about end phase. You've got everything about end phase: the management, the vision, the analyst outlook, the growth, the risks and challenges. Everything about end phase, all my thoughts. You get everything that's going on this week, the top movers, the top losers of the day. You get the chart of the day as well. And today was end phase. You got everything like this every single morning. 3 hours, 4 hours of research goes into this every morning. You also get deeper dives separately as well as a member as well. So the link is in the chat. It's in the first link in the description as well. Please go sign up to it. Get tomorrow's newsletter. Actually, it might be the first day we don't do a morning newsletter because the markets are closed, so we won't have as much information. We will see, however. But you will get the newsletter every trading morning. You get the Saturday one from Vaz, all for about 30 cents a day. And there's even a free plan to get an idea. There's even a 7-day free trial on that link. So make sure you go and grab the newsletter. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Get ready for that FOMC meeting. Everyone stay exactly where you are. I'm going to give you the link to the next show that's starting. That should have been starting earlier, and I apologize, I've gone over time. So I'm going to give you the link. Martyn is ready to go to give you all the information. The link is now in the comments. Hit that button right now. If you stay where you are, it will also take you automatically there. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. No show tomorrow unless a big crypto event happens, because crypto markets are 24/7. I'll be back the day after unless a big event happens. Go check out the newsletter. We didn't manage to cover barely anything on the newsletter today. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Until next time, get ready for FOMC. Be prepared for all results. I think we're going to hold. Either way, it's what the Fed says that matters. If they do cut, that'll be a surprise, and that will send the markets up, in my opinion, at least for the short term. Be prepared for everything. Be prepared for all scenarios. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Stay where you are. Go watch Martyn's show starting any second now. Bye-bye.